Babalu, arriba. I am the Cuban Colonel, and I welcome the world to Culinary Conga. I'm the chef to the healthy wealthy. Babalu, arriba. Today I'm going to show you how to make a fabuloso Cuban meal, starting with the bocadito, a small bite appetizer, followed with the Cuban sandwich and my special sauce that makes it the best in the world, and ended with the Cuban flan. Babalu!
Arriba!
Now it's time to make the bocadito, a wonderful appetizer. But first, let me make some sweet sauce for the top of the bread. A little bit of water, some sugar. We bring the saute pan to a boil there, and a little bit of lime. Now I'm going to take a pat of butter and put it into my mix and spread it out evenly. We'll let this sit here and simmer as we work on the bocadito patena. First, we start with the secret ingredient, pickle juice. Just half a cup of pickle juice, half a cup of pimiento, half a cup of natural mayonnaise. I make my own, but you can buy it at the store, natural. And what I'd like you to do is get natural cream cheese. And it's really wonderful because the natural cream cheese brings out the flavor and balances all the different things that I'm putting into this wonderful dish. Now we go with the ham, about a cup of ham. We put the hat on it. And Babalu!
Arriba!
Now that we finished the bocadito pate, we're ready, and I'm excited because I can't wait to taste this. We take one that's already been firmed up in the refrigerator for a little while, and we spread it on the bread evenly. Now what I want you to do is top it. Just think, I can't wait to taste this thing. It's so wonderful. The sweetness that will now come upon the bread. It even has an aroma. Babalu! So much for the fabulous appetizer. Now we're gonna make our secret Cuban sandwich. The most important part of the recipe is the Cuban slow roasted pork. The right pork fat has a nice fat cap on it. And what we do is we're gonna sharpen our knives, just like Soro taught us. A sharp knife is always the best way to get your things done. So let's put the pork butt on the cutter. Let's make sure that we have it in place. And we'll start cutting in. We want to cut nice, thick 1-inch cuts. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take sea salt. What you want to do is take that sea salt and you want to massage the salt into the pork very, very effectively all over. We've preheated the oven to 500, but we're going to slow roast it at 320. Very important, for 4 hours. And at 2 hours, you have to flip the porks. Now that my Cuban pork is slowly roasting, I'm going to take and make a wonderful Cuban sauce called the Culinary Conga Cuban Colonel Secret Sauce. It's my secret, but yours now. Go to my website and you'll be able to see the ingredients. Babalu! Now we have the Culinary Conga Cuban Colonel Secret Sauce. Let's pour it into a dish with a lot of passion because this is the best sauce you'll ever have. You can use it with Cuban sandwich or any other dish for that matter. A little bit of lime, stir it. Perfecto! The slow Cuban roasted pork. Ooh, just like my grandfather used to make it. Incredible. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this pork and we're gonna bring it together. What we wanna do is take the choppers and start chopping. This is the conga, the Culinary Conga. It's very important to do this consistently so that all the flavors of the pork blend together. And it's also important for the assembly. We can always give it a little dance. Enjoy yourself while you're doing this. Remember, this pork is your pork. Take one of my freshly Cuban baked bread. We're gonna put some of this pork right in there. We take some of the ham, and that seals it. And then we take some of our Swiss cheese. And our wonderful sauce. Now, we put it into the pan. Let's stick it in the oven. Rico, suave. It looks like it's ready. Let's pull it out. Yes, to perfection. Just like my grandfather would do it. Let's pull it out of the pan. Remembering it's hot. Now what we want to do is we want to bring it together. Don't worry about the meat. Just worry about the flat. Push hard. Give it all. Now she's ready. Let's get a little bit of the sauce on top. Always be abundant with your sauce. Sauce is really good. It's good for you too. Cut a little piece. My grandfather would be proud of me, and he's gonna be proud of you when you make the best Cuban sandwich in the world. Babalu!
Arriba!
There is no better way to top off a great Cuban meal than with Cuban flan. First, we take my Cuban flan caramel. We pour it into our little cup here, and we pour it nice and generously, about to 1/3 of the cup. We're done with that. Put it off to the side. Come over here, take a pinch of salt, throw a little pinch of salt in there. We take whole milk, and we take sweet condensed milk. Now we take 3 egg yolks and a complete egg. Put it into our mix. A little bit of food coloring just to give it that color of the island. And no great flan is better than with a little bit of natural vanilla. Babalu! Now that it's blended perfectly for 3 minutes at medium speed, we're gonna pull it out and we're gonna strain it. The reason for straining it is to remove any of the egg yolk that may have remained as we stirred it. We bring this over here and we pour it into the cup right to about the top end of the lid. The water's in the pan so that the flan caramel or the flan does not burn when you have it at 350 for an hour in the oven. But now, this sweet, delicious dessert is gonna sit in the oven for an hour, and then we'll put it in the refrigerator for a little while. Now we've already preheated the oven at 350 degrees. We'll place our dessert in the oven. Rico, suave. My grandfather's Cuban flan. My Cuban flan. Now your Cuban flan. After it's been in the oven for an hour, you put the tops on and you put it in the refrigerator for an hour. We've already done this. This keeps the consistency. The top is very important. What we're gonna do is pull the lid off, and you're gonna go in with the knife very tight to the edge. And what we wanna do is just tightly go into the edge, because we don't wanna ruin the consistency of this wonderful dessert. Flip it, top it, and pour it down. Let me taste it, because it looks incredible. Oh, fascinating. You'll love it, and your friends will love it too. As my grandfather would say, I take my hat off to you. Thank you for joining us today in Culinary Conga. I am the Cuban Colonel. Next week, you'll love our Cuban paella. It's unlike any paella you've ever had before. Babalu!
Arriba!